Hello everyone, it's the Fantasy Football Almanac here, back at it with another best ball draft video. Today we're hopping into a Best Ball Mania 3 draft to win $2 million, hopefully $25 entry fee, potentially $2 million for first place, $10 million in total prizes. I'm not sponsored by them, but I do love drafting on here. It is absolutely awesome. It's so fun hopping in these real money leagues because people in here are like so much more aware of how they draft, of who they're drafting. Jonathan Taylor always goes one. You're not having any trolls. Somebody taking Josh Allen at one, unless you see the draft I just did. Then somebody's taking then somebody's taking him at one. But very few times you're having people throw in and waste their money. They want these $25. They want to make their $25 well spent. And if you guys do enjoy these best ball fantasy drafts, please go down, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you do enjoy. And stay tuned because I will be announcing a giveaway about I don't know, I guess whenever I decide to announce it during the video, but probably about halfway through till the very end. Either way, though, now we get this draft started. Very standard. I mean, absolutely. First five is the most standard I've ever seen it. Dalvin Cook at 6, Eckler at 7. Again, very standard. It is a little weird to see Dalvin Cook going that high. But I mean, it's Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, absolute workhorse running back. Will be getting every single touch in that offense if he is healthy, which he has never been fully healthy, but still a great running back nonetheless. Can't be mad getting Dalvin Cook there. Austin Eckler at 7, Diggs at 8. Diggs is a guy I do really like. Around pick 8, I think he is a really good value at pick 8, honestly. Not a value, but a good player at pick 8. It's kind of like hard. There really isn't much you can get at value unless one of the top 6 falls to pick 8. So pick 8 is a little tough, but I do like going Diggs there because then you could double up and get potentially Joe Mixon, DeAndre Swift. There's a few different running backs you could potentially get at 17 that you don't really have access to. I mean, you might be able to get Mike Evans at 17 as well, but I think Stephon Diggs is definitely a tier above Mike Evans. We got Derrick Henry and Najee Harris coming off the board. Picks 10 and 11. Devontae Adams at pick 12. Pick 13, we shall see. I mean, it'll be pretty interesting to see who they go with. They go with Saquon Barkley here. I think Saquon Barkley, a phenomenal pick for upside. I mean, you can't have much better upside than with Saquon Barkley. Absolutely phenomenal player. Tremendous talent. Has not really lived up past his, I would say, second season in terms of production. But it is mostly due to injuries. I think last year he was very much hampered with injuries, which is unfortunate. We got Joe Mixon coming off the board at pick 15. It's pretty interesting to see. There's two main guys I'm hoping for, whether it be Deebo Samuel or Mark Andrews. Either way, can't be too mad. I would definitely be more than fine with either. DeAndre Swift comes off the board. It's been a very standard draft so far. Really no surprises. Travis Kelce, a little bit of a reach. Dalvin Cook, a little bit of a reach, but that's really it as far as the reaches go. We got Deebo coming off the board at pick 18. Other than that, really not too many reaches. Nothing really too surprising here. But sometimes those drafts are best. If people Leonard Fournette, that's a surprise right there. This guy, T Panthers, a little bit of surprising picks. We got Aaron Jones off the board. We would like Mark Andrews here. Would be surprised if he does make it to us over a guy like Tyreek Hill, Javonte. But Mark Andrews is somebody that I would really like here. I mean, I would actually love it. I don't think it'll happen though. I'm preparing myself for the worst. I have seen Mark Andrews fall pretty far though, so it is possible. This guy might be on auto draft. Nope, he goes. Mark Andrews, absolutely breaking our hearts. I was really hoping because I have seen Mark Andrews fall quite a lot. We're gonna go with Tyreek Hill here. I think that's probably the best pick. I would have been torn between him and Leonard Fournette, but I think Tyreek Hill gets the nod for his actual supreme talent. And then hope for a guy, I don't think it'll happen, but hope for a guy like T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins is being not slept on, because I mean, this is a round where you'd expect his ADP to go. But I think he is a little bit suppressed because he is that wide receiver too in that offense. But if T. Higgins, and his projection is really not that good, 191 when he had 182 last season, only playing 13 games, it doesn't really seem right to me. Duffman, so we may get a reach here because Some people do like to take these other players, these random players, Duffmans. Goes T. Higgins here and Javante. A little unfortunate. There's a lot of guys we like here. I may consider taking DJ Moore here. Just getting three pretty ridiculous wide receivers. That or going with somebody like Alvin Kamara, but I think here we are going to go DJ Moore. I really like the DJ Moore value now that they do bring in Baker Mayfield. Because DJ Moore is the type of guy that gets consistent yards. I mean, at the end of the day, there were back-to-back-to-back seasons with 1,100 yards with Cam Newton and Sam Darnold at quarterback. Now he gets somebody way better. He doesn't have Sam Darnold. He doesn't have Cam Newton. He has Baker Mayfield, the number 1 overall pick, who, yeah, honestly is not really had a successful career this far. Definitely not what you'd expect for a number 1 overall pick. But by far the best quarterback he has ever had. I mean, there's really, in my mind, almost no doubt that it's the best quarterback DJ Moore has ever had. And you get these type of guys, Cooper Kupp, the really, really consistent Tyreek Hill. Deep bomb can win you weeks, and then DJ Moore, type of really, really consistent wide receiver. We have, not even arguably, we definitely have the best wide receiver core in this entire draft. And in these underdog drafts, I really do think it is about building strengths. Building as many strengths as you can, and then using those strengths, and kind of just compensating for your weaknesses. Because, I mean, it is okay to have some pretty glaring weaknesses, but having a couple glaring weaknesses, or let's say you don't really have any strengths, your team's really balanced, it's much harder for you to come out with a win because your team's really balanced. You don't excel at anything. There's nothing you're better at than the other people in the draft, and you want to build strengths. Unless, of course, you're talking about, let's say, taking Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce. Then I think you're just crazy. I was really actually hoping for Cam Akers to fall to us at pick 46. Doesn't happen. We get these running backs getting pushed up the board here. This is really unfortunate. We got Breece Hall, Etienne, Akers all off the board at pick 46. This is pretty scary, I'm not going to lie, just because I think it is a little bit scary being in a position where we most likely will not be taking that many running backs. I mean, we need to take 5, 100%. I think there are some. Jalen Waddle will most likely be off the board. Could see myself going Judy here and just absolutely grabbing tons and tons of wide receivers and maybe taking Herbert as well. I probably would not take Herbert here, though. I don't think Herbert's the move. Maybe Deontay, but I think Deontay will also be off the board here. Deontay's an absolute beast, though. But absolutely just locking down our wide receiver position. If we get Jerry Jeudy here, we have 4 absolutely insane wide receivers. Somebody reaches on Bateman, too, which means they probably are going for the Bateman-Lamar stack. This guy's got 3 running backs. This is the guy who reached on Dalvin a bit. Would be pretty interesting to see, though. I would like Jerry Jeudy here, a fair amount. I think Jerry Jeudy would probably be the best course of action. And then if Herbert is still on the board, I will gladly take Herbert. Jerry Jeudy comes off the board. That is so annoying. Pick 43, I've seen him fall way, way further. And we got Gabe Davis. I think Deontay then is probably the move. That or Justin Herbert, whichever one of these two end up falling to me. Zeke comes off the board. The reason why I'm pretty sure I'm going to go Deontay here is because there still are 3 great quarterbacks. And at the end of the day, Herbert's the best, but I'm really picking straws here. Honestly, I probably won't even go with any of these 3 quarterbacks because I think I could just get Joe Burrow in the next round potentially. Herbert's obviously insane, 302 rushing yards. Although, rushing yards aren't really what matters too much. I mean, when you have 5,000 passing yards, 38 touchdowns, and 300 rushing yards, I think a combination like that is really, really hard to pass up here. So we most likely will be going Herbert if he does make it back to us, or Mahomes, one of those two. Both are absolute ballers, certified ballers. I think Mahomes and Herbert are pretty much neck and neck for me. We got Mooney coming off the board. We got a lot of these, maybe even Kittle too. It is possible I can make a case for Kittle. I think we might do that, especially if these quarterbacks are falling, or even David Montgomery here. I mean, both these players I really do like. I think we are going to go Kittle here. Uh, if these quarterbacks are falling, though, because I mean, these quarterbacks have fallen pretty far, it is possible that we can get value at pick 70 with the Jalen Hurts. That's my thinking at this point. Because if these quarterbacks are falling, it is possible they continue to fall. And if they do, we're getting supreme value. Because, I mean, you don't usually see Darnell Mooney or Chris Godwin going this high. You don't see Rashad Bateman going this high, really. Darren Waller going low, but what can you do? You don't see Brees Hall, ETN, or Cam Akers going this high. So I think this is a draft where QB value may fall. And if it does, I will gladly take advantage of it by taking them at pick 70. Potentially doubling up even, getting Kittle. And, I mean, look, right here, Justin Herbert, Mahomes, and Kyler Murray. Still all on the board at the 507 right now. I mean, you don't see that too often. Montgomery's still on the board too, which is pretty surprising. Wow. I mean, Josh Jacobs on the board. Finally, Herbert goes here, but the 507, it is pretty rare to see that. Right here, though, we have really good tight ends. Really good wide receivers. We are going to need to start hitting at running back kind of soon, but I think at 94, we can most likely take Chase Edmonds if he does not even fall, but if he does make it to us at 94, that would be the hope. Then we got Herbert and Mahomes coming off the board, so now we're about back on pace for QBs. I imagine Kyler will probably be taken here by the 512-ish. It is possible these quarterbacks can fall a little bit. And the thing is, if they do fall, Jalen Hurts goes. If Kyler Murray does fall past these 4 picks, I mean, the next person who needs a quarterback is T Panthers, and T Panthers have already proven that he'll reach a little bit to get his guy, so maybe he doesn't want a QB here. Maybe he likes not settling for value. Kyler Murray does come off the board. Maybe it was a little stupid not to take Justin Herbert here. To be honest, to be fair, but we are going to get most likely Joe Burrow in the next round. Double up, get Joe Burrow and Trey Lance. Call it a day, and be happy. There's 5 running backs on the board still that I would be happy with. Now 4. But if I could get any one of these, or I guess these 3 would probably be best in this order. J.K. Dobbins comes off the board. We're 7 picks away. This guy most likely will be taking one of these backs. Which is a little unfortunate because we don't have a running back yet. We actually don't. We have a lot of strengths. Running back is most certainly not one of them. If we have Elijah Mitchell as our starting back, I would be a little bit concerned. I'm not going to lie. But it is okay. Our wide receivers will provide us with tons and tons of value. I mean, our wide receivers here are absolutely insane. And our tight end, really all we have to worry about. All we have to worry about is running back and quarterback. I think that's okay. I think that's quite all right by me. If these running backs do come off the board, if Josh Jacobs is not here, we may take another wide receiver, to be honest. We may take Amari Cooper and just get absolutely stacked at the wide receiver position. I imagine Josh Jacobs won't be on the board here. These running backs have been coming off a little fiery. But maybe we do go Josh Jacobs and then hope to get Joe Burrow in the next round. There's potential for that. Mac Biddy. Let's see what he takes. Let's see what he has right now. He goes Joe Burrow. You got Jamar Chase, so it makes sense getting the stack here. Now, there's 2 guys we like on this board in terms of ADP. Whether that be Josh Jacobs or Amari Cooper, I am fine with either. I would prefer Josh Jacobs, though, just because our running back position is absolutely desolate. But either way, can't be too mad. He goes Amari Cooper. We get Josh Jacobs. Let's go. It's good news. Maybe we take Gibson as well. We get Jacobs and Gibson. That'd actually be a really pretty good stack, honestly. Not stack, but pretty good running backs for where we've taken them. The only other player I can really see right here is Trey Lance. We do need a very high upside player here. We don't have any Denver stacks too, so taking Russell Wilson I think would be off the table versus getting the Trey Lance and George Kittle stack would probably be better. And the thing is, I know I could not get Trey Lance at pick 94 at this point. It sucks to say. I really would have loved him. But I can't do it anymore at this point. So I think Trey Lance probably is the pick here. even though Antonio Gibson comes off the board anyways. So we will go Trey Lance. Is confirmed starting QB now. We do have a really, really strong roster here. I think we are going to need to hammer some running backs. Hopefully we get some running backs falling, especially because I mean these guys went running back heavy in the first 4 rounds. It is possible now they try and avoid a little bit. I think we will have these guys, maybe not T Panthers, but Abel, Pert, Mac. Just talking basic draft strategy. They most likely will be going running backs because they have so few. And if you guys have made it this far, please go down, leave a like on this video, leave a comment. I'll announce the giveaway now. Leave a comment with hashtag bestball in it to be entered into the giveaway. Giveaway is for $50 to Underdog Fantasy, and it will be announced once the channel hits 50 subscribers. So basically, giving away $50 for your chance to win $2 million, $10 million in total cash prizes. So you can't be too mad about that. I mean, $50. So the only thing you gotta do is comment hashtag bestball. You can leave anything else you want. Tell me about how much you like Trey Lance, anything. And just subscribe to the channel. And every single comment you leave on any video, or one comment per video, but once you leave one comment, all my videos, you will have 25, 30 entries, because I have like 30 videos up. And there's 30 entries to win $50. I mean, come on, man. Can't get much better value than that, to be honest. Like, I would love that. But here we have Alan Lazard, Russell Wilson. We got a lot of players dropping off this board here. Drake London, DeAndre Hopkins, Hunter Renfro. Let's see this board right now. We got Kadarius Toney, Clyde still on the board. I'd be fine taking Kadarius or Clyde. T-Hawk, I love getting, honestly, when I'm in these starting positions, I love pairing up T-Hawk and George Kittle. I think it actually is really, really smart to get both of them because both of them, I think, are being pretty undervalued this season. We got Kadarius Toney coming off the board. I'm fine with that. I'm trying to get these wide receivers off the board now at this point. It is possible we end up with Damian Harris as our RB2. There's a lot of RBs here that I really would not mind having, and there's so many of them. Tony Pollard has been dropping a lot in fantasy, which is surprising. The last 2 drafts I've seen him, he's fallen pretty far. I could consider him because at least he does have a standalone role. I mean, last year putting up 719 yards and 337 passing yards. It's pretty good for a running back that's going to be the second guy in that offense, pretty much almost no matter what. Like, he was the second guy and still got 719 yards and 300. That's 1,000 yards from scrimmage being the second guy behind Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott's never missed a game, though. I mean, it is possible this is the year he goes down, as with any single player or running back. Like, you can't really name too many running backs who've never missed a game, aside from Zeke. So it is possible Zeke does go down this year, along with any running back. I mean, no running back is safe. That's really what it comes down to. There's no running back where it's like, oh, he's safe. Anybody can get injured. It's football. People can get injured at any time. We got T Panthers 159. I'd be fine with any of these 3 guys up here. Tony Pollard coming off the board. I'd be fine with, I mean, as long as we don't get sniped on both. If we do, worst comes to worst, we have Chase Edmonds, but we don't. Because I could always wait. I guess TJ Hawkinson would be a nice commodity. Oh, my God. We are going to go TJ Hawkinson here, I think. TJ Hawkinson's probably the best idea. Nah, you know what? We're going to go. Nah, we're going to go TJ Hawkinson because there are 3 running backs here. And although there is one I want more than the others, I still think at least one of them will most likely fall to me. I would want Chase Edmonds though over any of these other guys. But now we really do have our whole situation pretty much. Okay, so we got Kareem Hunt coming off the board. This is a tiny bit scary now. 3 picks, 2 running backs. I would honestly even take Rashad Penny at this point. Projected to be sharing duties. Oh, for starting duties, I was going to say. I was like, oh my God. So all these guys do go running back. So does make my thesis look a little more stupid, but they don't take the running back that we want. So it is a little bit better. Again, he was 600 yards rushing and 300 yards receiving. I mean, Chase Edmonds, I think, is one of the biggest fantasy sleepers this year that you could take. He is, if he maintains this lead role, going to be absolutely insane. So now we're in a position where we have at least some running back play. I mean, not much. but something. Matt Stafford comes off the board at pick 100. Would have been a nice pick. Now that Deshaun Watson is going higher up again, I am getting a little concerned that my strategy, I might need to adjust it a tiny bit because I don't think Rodgers will make it to me at 118 here. That's kind of what I'm banking on. Maybe I can go with Kirk Cousins here because I do like getting two solid QBs rather than reaching and taking three where one's okay or like two are pretty bad and one's good. I think it's just a better system to have. We got Treylon Burks coming off the board as well. But let me know what you guys think of this team in the comments. Please let me know. I know it is a pretty interesting team. Definitely probably different from what you've seen. It's one of those teams with like a very, very, very low floor because the running backs, the running backs have a very low floor. The wide receivers have such a high ceiling, and same thing with the tight ends. And same thing with the quarterback. Literally your only bad position, and again, one weakness is the running back position. Every other position we have is a strength on this team, which I like. And if I figure it out at running back, if I can somehow figure it out at running back, then everything else will fall into line with this team. Which is sometimes interesting to do. We did get sniped on a lot. I do like to have kind of like a hero running back build more so, where you have one absolutely insane running back and then a couple other guys that can kind of fill in. But this also does make a lot of sense because really no value ever fell to us at running back. Potentially we could have taken Alvin Kamara here. I guess here's where I think we could have gone David Montgomery, even though David Montgomery went 10 picks later, which is really surprising. We could have gone David Montgomery here. I think that would have been a good pick. But either way, you can't be mad taking George Kittle here. I think George Kittle's being very, very slept on right now, too. I think both of those players are, and I'm fine taking either one of them in that range. Here we got a lot of these. I guess it is kind of better that we did go TJ Hawkinson because we get Dawson Knox, Zach Ertz, and Dallas Goedert all off the board. Dallas Goedert was before T-Hawk. But still, that's around Dawson Knox's ADP, but ahead of Zach Ertz's, which is pretty interesting. We got Chase Claypool coming off the board. This guy going wide receiver after wide receiver from Olave, Darius Toney, Chase Claypool. All guys that, I think are pretty talented. Like, the talent is definitely there. This guy might be a Giants fan. He does go Kenny Golladay as well. Kenny Golladay looking to have a bounce-back season. I just don't know if it's going to happen. He's still fairly, he feels old now. He feels really old. It's like somebody you don't want to take. But, he still is a very, very pretty, was really talented with Matt Stafford. The question is that Matt Stafford or is that Kenny Golladay? Getting 12 touchdowns in 1 year, I think, 1,200 yards, something like that. And it's possible for Daniel Jones to take that step up, too. Here I am really hoping for, at 118, to get Aaron Rodgers. If I get Aaron Rodgers and then at 123, get my boy, you all know who it is, Christian Watson. If I could do that, that would be amazing to me. I don't think Aaron Rodgers will be on the board still. Christian Watson off the board. Anyways, this MMR is probably hoping to get Aaron Rodgers. Probably hoping to do the same thing I am. Maybe take Rondell Moore in the next round. It is possible. Michael Gallup, I do like. Jacoby Myers. Tim Patrick still on the board, or just taken. Kirk Cousins as well could be an interesting pick if Aaron Rodgers is taken. I think it is possible. But we don't really have any stacks like that. I was really hoping for Christian Watson here, although he does come off the board. This guy does take two rookies in Drake London and Christian Watson. It's a pretty interesting team build. I like taking these rookies. Wait, Elijah Mitchell doesn't have a profile picture? That's just disrespectful. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Elijah Mitchell. I'm sorry. This guy goes Melvin Gordon. We got one more until we could potentially end up with Aaron Rodgers. This guy is Stafford. He won the last round. It is possible he doubles up, but it is also possible he is Justin Jefferson, so he decides to double up with Kirk Cousins. I don't know. We'll see. But Aaron Rodgers is an absolute beast. Not a guy who's going to get the most yards, but you know for a fact if Aaron Rodgers has the ball, he's slinging touchdowns. Absolutely slinging touchdowns. We're probably going to go Rondell Moore here in the next round. Oh, that's really the only guy I like a lot right now. We really bolster our wide receiver core. Just make it all-time greats pretty much at wide receiver. We only really need 6 wide receivers in this draft, which is nice. we really only need 6. I probably will end up with 7. Maybe end up with taking like Van Jeff or someone like that. It would have been nice to go with the Stafford stack, but I think Chase Edmonds was the necessary pick. With how limited our running back room was, we pretty much needed an RB2 here. I mean, Josh Jacobs is good enough, honestly. Like, Josh Jacobs finished in the top 20 every single season of his career. He's at least, an above average running back in the NFL. And now you figure, hopefully, the Raiders have figured themselves out at least a little bit. Gallup comes off the board, meaning we're taking Rondell Moore. Not a guy who really did a lot in his first season, but now does benefit from no Christian Kirk and DeAndre Hopkins out for the first 6 games. It is possible DeAndre Hopkins, has aged out. I don't think it's very likely, but I think it is possible. 142 and 147, we probably will be hitting these running backs up. Whether that be Tyler Algier or Tyrion Davis-Price. Tyler Algier has been, honestly, steadily rising on these draft boards. He's a guy, a late round value that everyone is taking recently. I'm glad I started taking him early, but he is a late round value that a lot of people are taking. So it is possible we do get sniped, but we do need another running back pretty badly, even if it's just one of those floor guys. It would have been nice to have gone Madison too. I think Aaron Rodgers is the right move, though, especially with Deshaun Watson just climbing up these boards. We kind of needed a stability quarterback. I don't know if we would have gotten Deshaun Watson, or I would have felt comfortable taking him. We got Ronald Jones and Dameon Pierce coming off the board as well. Ronald Jones, a guy I really liked in the offseason, but now I've kind of tempered my expectations on him. I do still think he provides pretty interesting value if, for some reason, they don't like Clyde. Because for some reason, they may not like Clyde. I mean, Clyde, we've seen him. He's good. He's not a great player, but he's good. If the Chiefs decide they like him finally, I mean, he would go top 30 pretty easily. I mean, that was what he was expected to go. In rookie drafts, not rookie drafts, in rookie drafts, he was the 101 for sure. Everyone was taking him 101. But in redraft leagues, he was going top 10 immediately. He was going 9th. I think he went 9th overall. Or I think he went 15th overall in my redraft that year. But I saw drafts where he was going as high as 9th, 8th, 7th. I mean, he was getting absolutely pushed up the board. The hype was unreal. You were drafting him pretty much at his ceiling. I mean, unless he was a Saquon Barkley level prospect, then, which he obviously wasn't. I mean, he went 32nd overall. Still, nonetheless, like a pretty decent player, but not what you expect from a fantasy perspective at all. Either way, though, I do think he poses good value around pick 85. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire does have the ability to absolutely take advantage of his system. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I'm not 100% sure if he will ever exceed expectations now. I mean, exceed expectations from his rookie year. I think it's pretty much impossible at this point. But he can definitely exceed the expectations placed upon him this year. I mean, people are drafting him as a running back 3 or running back 4, probably more like a running back 4 at this point. And Clyde should at least be more than that. I mean, where's he going right here? He goes pick 93. Miles Sanders drafted above him. Josh Jacobs, Elijah Mitchell. I mean, all these guys I probably would rather have because the floor is pretty low. But the ceiling with Clyde Edwards-Helaire is absolutely insane. I mean, if he puts up 1,500 yards from scrimmage, he'll have a ton of touchdowns in this offense just because it's the Chiefs' offense. That's what it is. I mean, they definitely will. We got Justin Fields coming off the board at pick 138. So I do really like Clyde this year. I mean, at least where he's going, I think he has a value. I haven't really taken too much Clyde, but if you're running Tyler Algier go off the board. Nope, Tyler Algier is still on the board. We are most likely going to be taking him here. I think I do need to take him over a lot of these wide receivers because there's just so many wide receivers that I like in this range. Whether it be Van Jefferson, Jacoby Myers, Jarvis Landry, Joshua Palmer, all these guys I like, but there is only one Tyler Algier. Except for the fact that Tyler Algier could be the one to start in this offense, whereas Michael Carter is not going to be. A lot of these guys, Darrell Henderson's definitely not going to be. I mean, Tyler Joe is one of the guys who has a shot to start. James Robinson comes off the board. Now, in my order of these guys, I would like Van Jefferson. I would like Van Jefferson a lot here. I mean, because Van Jefferson, you look at Van Jefferson, he's a guy who probably won't produce that many weeks. I mean, he's still at 800 yards. So did Jacoby Myers. But you look at this guy, and you think he has 802 yards. He's attached to an absolutely insane quarterback. Yes, he is the wide receiver 3. But he's attached to an absolutely insane quarterback. And when he does produce, he will produce in droves. He will get deep bombed. And that's exactly what you want. You want these guys who, when they produce, will be having a 60-yard touchdown. Because the only... Oh my god. He does get sniped here. We're hoping for Jarvis now. But anyways, to continue my spiel with Van Jefferson, if you get Van Jefferson in a best ball league, I think he's way, way more valuable. In a redraft league, 16-round redraft league, I would probably prefer Jacoby Myers here. Just because Jacoby Myers has much more stability, much more flex play. But in an insane league, in a best ball league, I definitely prefer Van Jefferson. Because if he catches a 60-yard touchdown or 2, you're golden. I mean, you're pretty happy with that. And he does that 3 weeks throughout the season. I would gladly take that. He does go off the board at pick 145, though. A little unfortunate. I do like this team. I do think we need more depth at running back positions. We are going to take a look. I would love Tyrion. I don't think he's going to fall. Other than that, I mean, I'm not really trying to back up Chase Edmonds because I don't really think it's that smart, too. I don't really think it's smart at all. Maybe, I think either Khalil Herbert or Darrell Williams would be nice pickups. Donta Foreman is always nice. But I mean, out of these 4 guys, I would gladly just take 2 of them, end up with 5 backs, and call it a day. Maybe even 6 backs here. I don't usually like going 6, but when this is your RB core, it seems like I have to, honestly. Especially with my wide receivers. I mean, my wide receivers are absolutely nutty. They will get the job done week in and week out. So will my quarterbacks. So will my tight ends. It's really just my running backs. And if I could get one more wide receiver, I'll take him. If I got a value at 166 or 171, like if I ended up with Nico Collins, maybe I do go to Deshaun Watson too. There is potential. If he's on the board at pick 166, just getting Deshaun Watson, picking up a 6 backs. Tearing of his price coming off the board, a little unfortunate, but what can you do? I mean, you got to expect him to come off the board here. I do like the value of Nico Collins now. I mean, unfortunately, it's really a value of one of the most unfortunate circumstances with John Mechie getting leukemia. Very unfortunate. Again, my thoughts and prayers to his family. But Nico Collins, I mean, it has to be a value now. He's the wide receiver 2 in an offense that's going to be down pretty much all the time, so they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Davis Mills, I don't have any faith Davis Mills is really that guy. I don't at all. But I think people are definitely overvaluing Davis Mills and who he is as a quarterback. Maybe he is the guy. Maybe I'm wrong. But Davis Mills has very, very low chance to be the guy. I mean, that's just the thing of it. He's a transition quarterback, most likely. But when there's targets to go around in an offense, I will gladly take it. I mean, who else is his target competition? He's got Brandon Cooks. But then other than that, who is it? Brevin Jordan? I mean, are you? I can't possibly be worried about Brevin Jordan. So Nico Collins will be most likely the wide receiver 2 in this scenario, and if he is, I mean, he will at least have some yardage. He just has to by default. As for the quality of these targets, probably going to be pretty bad. Probably going to be really bad, honestly. But it's okay. Nico Collins does have the potential, and it's not like Davis Mills is the guy who ever runs the ball. I mean, how often are they even going to be able to run the ball with Dameon Pierce probably as their RB1 or Marlon Mack? They pretty much have no talent. We got Darrell Williams on the board still. We're probably going to go Darrell. I like Darrell, and I like Benjamin. I'm trying to get them both in separate drafts because I do think James Conner's workload is really, really attractive, and he's never stayed healthy for a full season. So if Darrell Williams does end up getting that starting role, he's really, really valuable. So we are going to go Darrell Williams here. Because he can receive, he can pretty much do whatever you want from a backup perspective. And he probably won't be the backup for that long. In terms of the fact that I imagine James Conner isn't going to miss a full season, but he may miss a few games, and I think it is smart to pick up a guy like him. Yeah, so here we pretty much have a few more picks left. I'm going to probably go Deshaun here, get 3 quarterbacks, even though I don't really love to get 3 quarterbacks. I think here it is smart. Deshaun's really the only guy I like to take if I'm taking 3 quarterbacks, just because, I mean, the upside is just absolutely insane. Even if he only plays from weeks 10 on, I mean, he will affect my team in so many different ways and be an absolute game changer if he plays week 10 on. I will gladly take that. For a team when weeks 15, 16, and 17 are the weeks that matter by far the most. Julio Jones coming off the board here. I actually probably should be taking him a little more. His value is only going to rise and rise and rise. But we're going to go Deshaun Watson here. So we get Deshaun Watson. We got 3 picks left. We're probably going to try target a running back and a wide receiver. Most likely. We don't need any more quarterbacks. We don't need any more tight ends. Let's just take a look through this list, shall we? We got Paris Campbell. We got Alec Pierce. Mark Ingram wouldn't be bad at this point just because we need production at RB. Brian Robinson wouldn't be awful. Devin Duvernay, Donta Foreman, David Bell, Terrace Marshall. There's a lot of players here. I think we have pretty much a good enough list. At this point, any of these guys I would gladly be fine with. I pick 195. So either way, just one last reminder for the giveaway. Go down to the comments. Comment best ball. Comment hashtag best ball. Go comment on all my videos so you guys enter as much as possible. Get as many entries to win this $50 as you like. And then just subscribe, and you guys should all be set to win the money. And I think that would be awesome. $50 for the potential to win $2 million. And have a ton of fun drafting. I mean, what more can you ask for? These drafts are the best. I love draft. I draft every single day. I have drafted every single day. It's so fun. It's really enjoyable. And for the chance to win $2 million, I mean, heck yeah. I'm so down to win $2 million. Even if, I just win. Let's just take a look at this. Even if I get 5th place and win 100,000, or I get a couple of 300 to 400 place. There is 451,000 total entrants. So the odds you do get a lot of this stuff is low, but the odds you at least make your money back on some weeks is fairly high. But really, what you're aiming for is this $2 million. You make it past the quarterfinals here. You make it past the semifinals. Make it into the finals, and you are absolutely chilling. Then you have so much potential. Let's say you could even have more than one team. Let's say you have 2 teams make 11 through 50. You make $20,000. I mean, fortunately, it is taxed, but what can you do? All your gambling winnings are taxed. It sucks, but $2 million, let's say you're getting taxed on $2 million, you're still making $1.3, $1.4 million. It's pretty good. I mean, I would gladly take that. It's life-changing money. If I do win, though, I'm probably just going to invest a lot of it back into these drafts. 1, and 2, invest and make a huge studio. Make these videos better for you guys, so it is better for you guys to see. And hopefully this right here is the winning team. I mean, imagine, that would be crazy. We go back, we look at this video 7 months later, and we see, oh my god, this is the team that won $2 million. That's mind-blowing. I mean, that's what I'm really hoping for. If I could win this $2 million on YouTube, I mean, this YouTube video would be crazy, especially if it's this one where I'm talking about it. But we got Daniel, we got Zach Wilson, Evan Ingram coming off the board, Alec Pierce still on the board somehow. I'm a little surprised. We probably will go Alec Pierce here and then hope to get Donta Foreman. Terrace Marshall coming off the board. Maybe we actually do go David Bell here because we do have Deshaun Watson. I think it would be smart. And also, not only do we have Deshaun Watson, but our wide receiver core is absolutely stacked. So I think I will go David Bell here. And then take Deonta. Next pick, and then I don't know who I will be taking. Expect to practice in a few weeks. I'm not worried. We probably will be taking Deonta Foreman here. Pick 195. If not, Brian Robinson, I'm more than fine with. If Gibson does go down, which he does have a little bit of injury history, I'd be okay with it in terms of the fact that I would benefit. I haven't really been taking too much Brian Robinson, but in this draft, I think it does make a lot more sense. Wentz comes off the board, but we are most likely just about done with this video. I thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys do enjoy the fantasy best ball content. If there's anything, I mean anything, you guys think would help this channel out, would make your viewing experience more pleasurable in any way, please feel free to let me know down below in the comments, along with the hashtag bestball, so you guys do get entered into that tournament. This guy does go Logan Thomas here because he only did have one tight end. Now he gets two. We probably will call it a day. Get some Donta Foreman, which is pretty happy. I mean, I am pretty happy getting Donta Foreman. The logic is there. Christian McCaffrey does miss a lot of games. Donta Foreman is their backup. He most likely will not be walking into a similar workload as Christian McCaffrey, but even 50% of Christian McCaffrey's workload is pretty damn good. I mean, I don't think Christian McCaffrey, I mean, anybody could get injured, but I think the Christian McCaffrey injuries are overplayed. But anyways, guys, that just about wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys have a great night.